minute, but first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. The Chiefs are behind right now and certainly will need to tweak some things. The Broncos just need to do more of the same as they're continuing to play well after last week's win. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Broncos on offense early in the first. Lynch is on point with the throw, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. As they get out.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Tyreek Hill on the return. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think that they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Detroit!
Throwing is Mahomes on third. They find some open field here. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. And here we get a look at Stewart down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. On first down, Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up second down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. The Chiefs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's brought in by Floyd. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On the run, it's Ware. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Now Mahomes. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Time running out here on the play clock. To throw is Lynch. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on. And as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet, doing a little toe tap.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
No, check.
On On second down, here's Mahomes. Dumps that off to Ware. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And some room to roam now. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. You got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
Well, one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we look at C.J. Anderson as he trots back out there and gets set to go on offense. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And he powers his way up past the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. Boom,
Lynch to throw. Well, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for